Hi, my name is Heather Williams. I'm studying for my Master of Fine Arts in Creative Writing at Full Sail University. And this is my Mastery Journey Timeline Journal. Tonight we're going to be reviewing the courses that I'll need to take to receive my degree. The first one is Mastery Personal Development and Leadership. The goals that I have for this course is that I'd hope it would broaden my perspective. I want it to expand my creative process and its visual expression. I want to explore the mediums of screenwriting, episodic and serial writing, and writing for games and animation. Now, these are all mediums that I'm going to be dealing with later on in the program, but I kind of want to get ahead up on them. So the tactics that I'm going to employ to do this is I want to view the masterclass presentations by Shonda Rhimes and Aaron Sorkin. And I'm going to be dissecting media, meaning I'm going to be watching a lot of television shows and movies, and specifically paying attention to how they are actually put together, what devices are being used to visually convey the story. I'm also going to read Television and Screenwriting by Richard Blum from our Full Sail library. The next course that I'll be taking is called The Art of Visual Storytelling. The goals that I have for this course are to learn the basics of effective visual storytelling. I want to identify best practices and what makes them effective. And I'm hoping that the information that I learn will cross-pollinate, meaning that I'll be able to utilize it in novel writing as well. There's an old adage that they use called show, don't tell. And I want to see if it's the same or similar adage applied in these new mediums. The tactics that I'll employ here is I want to continue to watch Aaron Sorkin's and Shonda Rhimes masterclasses. I want to continue reading Television and Screenwriting by Richard Blum. And I want to take notes and identify areas of intersection and deviation across the different genres of writing that I'll be studying. The next course I'll be taking is Script Analysis and Criticism. The goals that I have for this course are to learn the formats for script writing, what components are specifically required for script writing, what makes for a good script, and what makes for good criticism. The tactics that I'll employ here is I want to read Story, Substance, Structure, and Style, Principles of Screenwriting by Robert McKee that I got from our Full Sail library. I want to investigate available webinars through Script University. And I also want to acquire pilot scripts from various shows for review from thescriptlab.com. My next class will be Character Creation and Development. In this class, I hope to learn techniques for creating great three-dimensional characters, and I also would like to do some character studies. I also want to learn specific devices used to craft characters that jump off the page. The tactics I'll employ here are to continue reading Story, Substance, Structure, and Style, Principles of Screenwriting by Robert McKee from the Full Sail library. I'm also going to read Writing Unforgettable Characters by James Scott Bell. And I'm also going to dissect characters from popular movies and TV shows and learn the anatomy of what makes a great character. The next course I'll be taking is Episodic and Serial Writing. The goals that I have for this course are to learn to dissect the scripts and identify the parts of each. I want to learn the concrete writing formats for each. I want to know the expectations for each genre and the act structure of each genre. The tactics I'll employ here are to read the book, The TV Showrunner's Roadmap by Neil Landau from the Full Sail library. I'm also going to continue reading Television and Screenwriting by Richard Blum. And I'm going to continue to watch the masterclasses by Aaron Sorkin and Shonda Rhimes. My next course is going to be Film Screenwriting, and what I hope to learn in this course is I hope it will be a deep dive into the process of screenwriting, and that I'll begin to actually develop ideas for a script And I want to confirm the lingo format and written requirements and expectations for film scripts. And the tactics I'll employ here are to continue to watch Aaron Sorkin's masterclass on screenwriting. I also want to continue to read Story, Substance, Structure, and Style. And I want to view more movie scripts from scriptlab.com. My next course will be writing for games. The goals that I have for this course are to learn the narrative style for video games. I want to learn the written format for the genre, as well as lingo, player expectations. And to do this, the tactics I'll employ is I want to read Video Game Storytelling by Evan Skolnick. I want to continue reading Story, Substance, Structure, and Style, Principles of Screenwriting, and continue reading Unforgettable Characters. Because ultimately, I believe it all starts with character across whatever medium you choose to work in. So I think all of these will be very helpful. The next class I'll be taking is Storytelling and Storyboarding for Animation. The goals that I have for this class is to learn how storyboarding is actually used in storytelling. I hope that I'll be able to deep dive into the lingo and the expectations and format used by professionals. And I hope that this information, like my other courses, will cross-pollinate and I'll be able to identify points of intersection and deviation that I can use in my own work. I want to compare and contrast storytelling changes across mediums. I think that'll be a good tactic for me to learn. I also want to watch Disney and Pixar documentaries on the creation of animated features as well as their films themselves to augment any classroom learning. And I also want to begin reading The Business of Television by Howard Blumenthal from the Full Sail Library. My next course will be Advanced Script Editing. I hope in this course my goal would be to learn the do's and don'ts of editing, what an editor is actually looking to edit, what are the common errors and common mistakes that are often found in scripts, what makes for a well-edited script, and I'd also hope that I'd be able to identify a well-edited script as well as a poorly edited script and be able to apply what I'm learning to my own work. The tactics I'll employ here is I want to view more movie scripts from scriptlab.com. I also want to continue reading Television and Screenwriting by Richard Blum from the Full Sail Library, and I also want to continue This Business of Television by Howard Blumenthal. And my next course will be Portfolio 1, and I hope by this course that I'll have fleshed out ideas for a first draft for my script for my final project. I want to spend some time and be steadily working on it. And I hope by the end of the course that I'll have a completed first draft. The tactics that I'll employ here is I want to continue to read Story, Substance, Structure, and Style. I also want to read Screenplay Format Made Stupidly Easy by Michael Rogan. And I also want to set aside a few hours each day to work on that first draft. In Portfolio 2, which is my next course, I want my script to be in the final stages of completion. I'd like to have it edited to professional standards, and I want to finish any rewrites and continue to rewrite until I feel it's pitch ready, and then I want to prepare a professional pitch. The tactics that I'll employ here is I want to continue reading Screenplay Format Made Stupidly Easy by Michael Rogan. I actually want to finish Story, Substance, Structure, and Style, Principles of Screenwriting by Robert McKee. And then I want to be able to finalize my draft by reviewing and rewriting it until necessary and adjust my final pitch so that it's ready to go. The last course I'll be taking is the Business of Creative Writing. My goals for this course is I hope that it will give me an in-depth view of the actual business side, and that it will review contracts, rights and publishing, and the role of literary agents, and the actual rights and the different types of rights you can sell, and what you're actually selling when you sell your work. The tactics I want to employ here is I want to watch David Baldacci's masterclass on negotiating the publishing business. I also want to finish This Business of Television by Howard Blumenthal. And then I also want to peruse Script University for webinars, specifically on the business side of writing. This is my mastery journey, a little visual representation for you. It goes over all the courses that we've just discussed. And now we're going to get into some clubs and organizations within Full Sail itself that I'd like to investigate and join. I'd like to join the Black Student Union, Creative Writing Lab, and also Full Sail Travels. In addition, some clubs and organizations that are outside of Full Sail. These are actually all online. Scribblefile.com, agentquery.com, and Absolute Right watercooler.com are all great places to actually network with other writers. Some companies and personal heroes that I'd like to add to my personal learning network are the author Ruth Desharmy, Jessica Faust, who's a literary agent from Bookends, Jennifer Wilkoff, Tyler Perry Studios, because they always inspire me, James Scott Bell, and Rashama Sujani, because she's just inspiring herself. The industry leaders that I'd like to follow are also, many of them you've already heard, but there are some new ones. James Scott Bell, Jane Friedman, who has a great blog, Rashama Sujani, Ruth Desharmy, Jennifer Wilkoff, and Jessica Faust. The qualities that I'd like my mentor to have, number one is frankness. I want my mentor to be able to tell me the truth, even if he or she thinks that by telling me the truth, they will hurt my feelings. They won't. I really respect and appreciate the truth. I'd also like my mentor to be a published author or an agent. I'd like my mentor to be an industry veteran and also have a willingness to share and impart wisdom. These are all the references for the references that I have used tonight. So I just want to thank you also as we wrap up for taking the time to go on this journey with me, and I wish you a pleasant night. Thanks a lot.